Hey, it's Ed here. You know, we talk about homelessness all the time and the impact that we see on our streets. And, we see drug use visibly. We see trash left on our streets and graffiti and feces and people stealing everything. But what we don't see is the impact that it has on our environment, our rivers and streams and parks and all of that. You know, just think about this. Just this year, our City of Spokane code enforcement litter crews have collected, get this, 346,760 pounds or 174 tons of garbage and whatever else in camps that have been abandoned along our rivers. Now, what do you think all that refuge does when the water rises and it gets washed downstream, and all the feces and contamination that's left by and the trash, and then we want to use our waters and eat the fish that come out of our rivers? Imagine that. But yet we're concerned about the new Green Deal and the impact that driving a gas-powered car is doing to our environment. But we don't think about the economic impact of homelessness and drug use on our community. We don't think about the environmental impact that homelessness and drug use is doing to our communities. You look at all these cities and there's, miles of tents, and what is happening with all that refuge? I mean, think about out at Camp Hope. When that camp is finally cleaned up, what's it going to cost just to clean that up? And oh my God, the contamination. Or imagine when those RVs, their black tank, which holds the feces and get full, they pull them out of the camp, drive around the block with that black tank valve open to empty their sewer. They're certainly not going down to a dumping station and paying the fee to properly dump it. And the neighbors have complained about this for a long time. And now they just have to send the city out and clean up all of that refuge. And think about all of the needles in the contamination and stuff that is left behind in our parks and bathrooms and everywhere that our children go. Have you ever been in a bathroom where the light in there is blue? The reason they do that is because when it's a blue light, they can't see their vein. And so they go to a different bathroom to inject. Have you ever noticed, your paper towel where your toilet paper is enclosed? But have you ever seen one that's open and you see little poke marks in it all around? What that's from is somebody using that bathroom to use drugs. And once they inject themselves, they stick that needle in that toilet paper roll and clean it off, and then put it in their pocket or their backpack or wherever they keep it. Now, what did they just leave you for you to find, for your child to find? You send your child in the bathroom and there it is. They talk about Hep C and HIV, and yet that's happening right there in our bathrooms because we allow open drug use. Many cities want to decriminalize hard drugs. And so now there's no consequences. And that's the problem. There's no consequences for homelessness. There's no consequences for theft on our street, robbery, burglary. They just get a slap on the wrist and sent down the road. There's people been arrested 20, 30 times, have, 12, 14 felonies, and they're still walking on the street with no consequences. And until we address the real problem, we're going to continue to still spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to no end. People talk about housing first. Well, that's backwards. You got to get them warm and dry. Okay, so warm and dry. It's housing fourth. Warm and dry first, treatment for their addiction, mental illness, and trauma. Third, you need to re-socialize them and get them job training. And why I say re-socialize, if you're on the street for any length of time, you have no social skills, and how long are you going to keep that job that we just trained you to learn? I mean, there's job openings everywhere. Imagine that. Job openings everywhere, and we have people out there on the streets starving, homelessness. So then, now that we got them stable, socialized, they're no longer using drugs, their mental illness is under control, their trauma is under control. Now we go housing fourth. Housing Force, now they can appreciate it. Now they know how to manage their life. They know how to manage their finances. And now they'll appreciate that home, that whether it's a little one-bedroom apartment or one room, they'll appreciate it because they know what life looks like now. Right now, they have no idea. So until we start doing that, we're never going to solve this problem. You know, I hear Jules Helping Hands, you know, getting upset because they want to clear out Camp Hope. Well, Camp Hope is only keeping people stuck in that situation. But false promises, you know, I hear, you know, if you stay in Camp Hope, you'll get a tiny home. Where? How? When? They've been there for 8.5 months and nothing has changed other than it's gotten bigger. So these people are trapped, and we need to start blaming these nonprofits that, you know, I'm sure their intentions are good, but they're looking at the solution from the wrong end. They need to look at it from treatment first. You know, we built the trench shelter and paid $6.5 million, and now it's going to cost another $1.5 million plus to provide treatment there. And, you know, I've talked about this before. There's no plan for what happens next year. Does this work? They don't know. They don't have any metrics to measure it as far as I know. So until we change, nothing's going to change. So thanks. Have a great day.